And good afternoon, everybody. I am Michael Filigaro. I am with logicalsignals.com and tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 index for Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. As you can see, I'm starting on a maximum monthly chart today. And the reason is because I've had to go back simply because of how things are trading right now. I'm going to start. Okay, we'll go here. I'm not that the market is being held up in the upper eighth or even less of the zone where it should be turning. And that continues to now tell me that it's still working its way higher. And that then puts a lot into question in my mind as to, well, what's exactly has it done here? If you remember, I've discussed previously that this is a complete ABC down. And that could be a total, that could be it for a corrective wave that we were looking to be a little bit larger and a little bit more extended. Okay. But if I go back and I just take a quick review, and I brought things down by a degree. And so instead of this being an intermediate level, wave 4 correction, I brought it down a degree and put the 4 there. So it's a minor third finishing, and it's minor 3 of intermediate wave 3. So I'm going to go back so that I can do this properly and not get so wrapped up and confused. So I've taken it all the way out. Let's just go out to the monthly chart. And here I had marked this as cycle wave 1, cycle wave 2, and we were in a cycle wave 3. Well, right now I've kind of backed it up and put the cycle 3 here, the cycle 4 down at the bottom for the NASDAQ, which was in 2002. And then from there, we are in a cycle wave 5 advance. And within that cycle wave 5, we have now completed primary wave 1, primary wave 2, and we're about getting ready to finish primary wave 3. So within that primary wave 3, I am counting 5 waves of intermediate degree, and then I've done it as such. And I had laid this out a little bit differently before and put 1 and a 2 in the primary, an intermediate third here, intermediate fourth here, and then brought this up to where primary 3 ended and put primary 4 there. And so that just doesn't work anymore because it puts too much pressure on the rally that's going on now. So I brought it down, intermediate wave 1, intermediate wave 2. And then it breaks down into minor waves as it's building in the third. So we have 1, 2, and then it subdivides 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that fifth wave subdivides in and of itself, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5 of 5, but it's an intermediate 3. And then the March of 2020 decline was intermediate wave 4. Now bring it back down. And well, let's go out to a little bit more before we go to the weekly chart of this guy. And then 4 was the March lows of 2020. Now we begin to count an intermediate fifth wave. And that's going to be comprised of 5 waves of minor degree, and then we can take it lower from there. So I changed it up a little bit. Instead of this being a much larger degree, like an intermediate degree, I made it a minor degree. And so here it fits, and it's minor 1, minor 2, minor 3 at the standing all-time high of 14,064. Now go down to my 4-hour chart and bring this in a little bit so you can see 3, 4, 5 of minor 3. Then I bring this down to be, because it is a complete ABC, minor 4. And then from there, we're counting from minor wave 5 of intermediate wave 5. See, I keep taking it out. So it's intermediate, so it's minor wave 5, of intermediate wave 5, of primary wave 3. So that covers us the fact that this particular corrective phase is still a wave 4, but it just has not followed through to do it. It still can, but I wanted to bring this, because this I had to lay out totally as the alternate count. And I wanted to really present that today, because it presents an interesting view that we're still, looking for a much larger decline. But when I see what's going on, I'm like, well, even if it gets up all the way up to here, what am I looking for? A fourth, a C wave down back to 12,915. I would anticipate that it was going to be more. But now, if this comes up and finishes it as a larger degree, then that fits the larger degree correction as well. So bear with me. So in any case, here we are in Globex, we're pushing higher. So this is the other thing, is that each day, come in and they knock it down on the close, and it looks like it's finished the 5-wave advance, and then they start buying it up in the Globex session. And you can see the Dow, this is where it starts. They start pushing on the Dow, that brings up the S&P, and then they start bringing up the NASDAQ, and of course, then the Russell. So everything is still pushing, pushing, pushing. And when you're getting the S&P closer to that 4238 number, then you start to look at it, it's like, well, what really is going on? And if I have to really believe that all three indexes are really barreling up to the same conclusion, that there's a much larger correction waiting no matter where this thing ends up. If it ends up at 14,200, 14,300, there's a larger correction coming. That much I know, that much I'm pretty confident with, but it's getting there. It's this mad dash to buy the top. However you want to phrase it, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be very tradable, but we need to be prepared for it. And so if I'm continuing to look for downside that we're not necessarily getting in its fullness, then we revert back to like, okay, well, this might be just another ABC down, and it's going to be a 4, and then it's going to be a 5th. Or we're still going to go up, and then we're going to have to change how this is, that this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, and then a 2, and then, it actually wouldn't work, but this could be an extended third wave, and the third's going to still end up at these other levels. So we have some ideas, and that's why I'm laying that out. And I'm going to put back the Fibonacci's that gave us that C wave. So this would, and then actually it would be the same, but we're just now going to call it a third wave. So don't forget, we still have these up here, and this 3 could get moved over, and then I'll count the internals, but the 3 could get moved over, and now we're up into this zone. And the higher it goes, now if it starts plowing towards the highs, well, in one respect, it's like, well, you know what? It's a wave 3. It should move to new highs, get a 4, and then we get a 5th that takes it up even higher, and then we're done. So now you're seeing where I'm coming from in this, and I know I'm taking way too long here, but I'm glad you're bearing with me. So I think that, yes, we will probably head up into these areas. We're getting strong enough buying. There's enough outside pressure being, that we have institutional trading, we have fund managers, we've got all these people that are putting together their scenario of why they should be getting into the market now. So here they come. And each day they're coming in pretty strongly, even though this, it went down and there was money to make, there's going to be money to make on the upside. So that's the other point that I want to make. Even though it's kind of slow, it's still able to get in there. And, within that first hour, honestly, you're still able to get, like $1,000. You have to be pretty aggressive and you have to be pretty confident about what you're doing, but it is possible. Again, another topic for a trade room, which hopefully is coming. Tomorrow, we may see the market hold below the high current for this particular sequence and come back down, and it would be an ABC down. But again, I'm looking for support. I'm not, the market has failed really the last two sessions to break below 1.236. That's a pretty high level. So you can see it continues to consolidate right in here between these two, which tells me it's likely going to go to here or here before it really pulls back. So we're going to have to allow for that. Again, we're going to trade what's in front of us, and it's like if the buyers are going to plow ahead, your moving averages are all again going to be in alignment. If we're going to have strength in the buying, they'll be in alignment, and then you just go with it. Starting to break down from here, which you can do. I'm really looking for it to hold above 236 here and the 50-day moving average. If it breaks, then I'm looking for these levels down here. And again, trade what's in front of you. Who knows what somebody changes their mind? Well, we will work it out, but in terms of trading, these are the levels. And when it starts to break, it could accelerate some of the trade. And then again, if this is the ABC and now we're going to drop in that C wave, that would fit. So we're presenting the alternative right now to cover us for the strengths of the upside that I'm kind of seeing building. And that being the case, I'm waiting because I think the S&P will break. If it starts to break back above 4,200 and gets above 4,211, it could take itself to all new highs. Then maybe that's reverting that count to reflect what is actually happening in front of us. And so that we're back in congruence in terms of the charts and the markets being in sync with one another. Okay, so we have downside, we have upside. Trade what's in front of you guys. Please send me an email if you want to talk about this particular account. And Michael at mgf1partners.com. Send it to me. I'll read it. I always answer. Anyway, next update, Wednesday, the 26th.